Hey there, and welcome to Goddess on the Rise. I am your host, Sarah Berg, and this podcast is all about empowering women, living in your truth, loving your body as it is, in your journey to self-love. You can find this podcast to be real, raw, authentic, and truth. So buckle up, girlfriend, because we are going for a ride. All right. Hey there, and welcome to my podcast episode and show Goddess on the Rise. I am so excited. I've kind of been lacking here lately and slacking really when it comes to the podcast because freaking life has gotten in the way. You feel me? And I've really been lacking like inspiration, which is really funny because I've been killing it over there on Instagram and Reels and TikTok. I really enjoy like doing dancing and creative things, even though I'm not very good at dancing. Anyways, I need to get better about getting my podcast episodes out there. And if you are listening, you should go over to my Facebook and check out the live video that I did on Wednesday evening because I recorded this episode live. So anyways, today's episode and what I really have been working hard to kind of figure out and rebrand is it's about being fat and being plus size and like what it means and how the heck I even got here, right? And I've done lots of episodes about this before, so if you haven't heard any of them, go back and listen. I mean, lots of health issues have definitely played in the way of this, right? But one thing that I have always not noticed, but one thing that's always been there is my mindset, right? And it's the one thing that I know that I have control over. And that's the one thing that actually feels good, right? So for me, for a lot of the time, weight gain and just being fat hasn't actually been a freaking choice, right? I've worked out and worked out and worked out and worked out some more. And I've always ate pretty healthy. Well, at least for the last 5 years, I'd say. But health issues have really played such a huge role in what it's like to be fat and just gain weight. And is something that I had struggled with for so long. And I think I just got really tired of it and was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to embrace it. And that's when I really just started saying really showing up as this confident person. And I lost myself for a while, right? Because about 5-6 years ago, I was newly married, living in Virginia Beach, and not even gonna lie, I was looking really, really thin. I was 190 pounds, which maybe that doesn't sound like it's the smallest, I don't know. But I was looking good, right? And here lately in my memories, it's been popping up that I was, I don't know, I was dieting and doing these detoxes and these refreshes, and it just made me feel some type of way. I was like, damn, was I really putting that out there? It's I don't know, it just felt really, really icky from where I'm at today. And where I'm at today is more like intuitive eating. Like I eat when I'm hungry and I don't judge food and I don't feel guilt around food. And it's just a beautiful place to be. It's so freeing. Where before it was not that way, like at all, right? I struggled with eating a cheeseburger in public. Like, are you kidding me? And I wasn't fat. I barely had a stomach on me. And I still felt fat. I never looked in the mirror and was like, ugh, I love what I see. Sure, I preached self-love, but I didn't feel self-love. I told all these other women that they should love themselves, but like I wasn't there. I wasn't there. And I felt most beautiful when I had makeup on and when I had my hair done and when I was in a really good outfit that kind of hid my stomach a little bit, even though I barely had a stomach to hide, right? It's just crazy. It's crazy where I was and where I'm at now. And, you know, I mean, it's a journey. That's for damn sure, right? But anyways, when I think about that time when I was living in Virginia Beach and I was skinnier than what I am now, I thought about, you know, these memories that are popping up on Facebook, right? And it shows me, you know, preaching, I guess would be the word, and talking about being fit all the time. And there was a status a couple days back where it said, write your excuses down in the comments. And if it sounds really, really silly, then go work out. And I was like, ugh. Right when I saw that, I cringed. I was like, why would I tell anybody that? I wouldn't tell anybody that today. I would tell people today, if you have an excuse, pay attention to it, sit with it. And if it doesn't feel right to work out, then don't freaking work out. But you know, 5-6 years ago, I was telling people, if your excuses are silly, you need to go work out. Like, if I could tell myself to shut the F up back then, I would do it in a heartbeat, because I don't know who I was fooling. And I probably wasn't fooling a lot of people, but I really think that type of talk and that type of thinking is very disoriented. Like, I wanted to say disoriented eating, but it really promotes it really promotes food disorders and eating disorders. And I just, it's so cringeworthy. I was like, why? I didn't know any better. I thought I was helping, and it did help a lot of people, but it didn't help myself. I didn't help myself at all, right? I was just like in this place where I just didn't know better. But when you know better, you do better, right? And that's where I'm at now. And now the women that I coach, we really, really talk about those things, right? We talk about how important it is to eat and how important it is to eat food that feels good. Like if you want a donut, eat the fucking donut. Like, it's not going to hurt you. Don't be afraid of it. Like, you're not going to gain 10 pounds from eating a donut unless you are me, who is allergic to gluten and dairy. And then you probably will, right? Because that is my life. But I don't know. Growth is such a beautiful thing, right? And I think it's awesome to look back, and I don't really judge myself and who I used to be, but I do look back and realize, like, that wasn't right and that wasn't okay, but now I know better and I do better, right? And now when I promote self-love and I promote confidence, it's because that is exactly where I'm at. I'm not some imposter. I'm not some fake. I am living it every single day. I can show up on camera. So I can just show up on camera and be me and be who I want to be without a filter, which is what I'm doing on Facebook Live right now, and just talk, right? And I don't feel like I have to have a filter because I am 100% authentically me, right? And I also don't feel like I have to hide who I am. I don't have to hide my stomach anymore. I wear what I want and what feels good to me. I can wear a crop top and not worry that I have like this lower pudge. Like, who the heck cares? I don't care. And like I said, that's just a beautiful place to be. And I'm not going to say that it happened overnight. It took work, right? It took work to learn how to accept myself, but accept others too, other women, and not judge, right? How many of you guys, I mean, I can't say I've done this often, but how many of you guys have ever looked at someone and been like, yikes, like, I don't know, maybe they should, I don't know, anything I want to say is really mean, and I've never thought that. So I'm kind of like, how do I judge other women? I just remember this one time. I was wearing this romper, and I had gained probably 20 pounds at that time. And there was this girl who looked like she was my size, and she wore a romper similar. And the person I was with said, "Oh my God, I can't believe she wore that out of the house." And I was like, what? I'm wearing the same exact thing. I'm the same exact size. What do you mean you can't believe she's wearing it out of the house? So what do you think about me, right? And I had this beautiful conversation with this coworker one time about how it's hard not to judge and gossip, but we know better, right? Like we know that that's not an okay thing to do. And when you judge and when you gossip, man, you know what? I'm just randomly thinking about this. I sure am going down the rabbit hole right now. But when you judge and you gossip other people around other people, that other person is probably going to be like, man, what does she say about me when she's around someone else, right? Yeah. So anyways, I don't know where I was going with this, but I'm going somewhere. But basically, I just feel like when I was sharing these things, when I was sharing about fitness and eating, I only knew so much. And now I know better, and now I do better, and now I can show up and be 100% me. And if you guys have not noticed, that is what I've been doing these last few months, just being super unapologetic. And there was this one time, just like within the last 2 weeks, I shared something that I believed in and other people didn't believe in. And I lost like 50 friends on Facebook, and I totally had to crack up laughing because I was like, man, that's okay. That's totally okay, because those people weren't my people, right? And if you're here and you're listening, you're obviously my people. And I think it's just like a super beautiful thing when we just show up and we can really love ourselves and feel good about ourselves no matter what. It doesn't matter what your weight is, right? And something that I read, actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I've been doing these research calls with some amazing women that have signed up, and this whole entire week has been about that. And a common theme I have noticed is that these women all think that if they lose weight, they'll feel better about themselves and they'll love themselves. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And it's funny because I actually had always thought the same thing, right? When I lost more weight, I would actually love myself. So I actually specifically remember looking in the mirror and being like, okay, if I lost 10 more pounds, I'm definitely going to be happy with where I'm at. And that was never the case, you guys, never the case. I lost 15 more pounds and I still would be like hating on my body or not comfortable in the clothes I was wearing or not comfortable in my own skin. And it's like, seriously, if I could go back, right? But it's never about weight loss, right? Weight loss isn't going to equal your worth. It's not going to equal you loving yourself. It's not going to have to do with anything like that, right? I mean, I was at the skinniest I've ever been since middle school 5 years ago, and I didn't even love myself. I love myself more now at, I don't know, like 30, 40 pounds heavier than that. And I love myself even more now than I do when I was skinnier. And the reason being is because I did the work. I did the work that it took to get here, right? And that's one of the things that I was so excited to create for you guys is my 3-step methodology. And I know you guys have probably heard about this before, but it was like these 3 steps that I created, not even knowing I was creating them, right? 3 steps that I created that helped me go from 190 pounds to not really loving my body, not feeling comfortable in the skin I was in, to where I'm at now, a fat plus size woman who loves herself in infinity. Like I just am comfortable where I'm at. And do I want to lose weight? Sure. If that happens, that's exciting. But at this moment, I'm just being me. I'm eating healthy. I'm eating what feels good for me. And I'm working out when that feels good. And that's that. And I'm still super, super healthy. And that's a beautiful place to be. And I just remember before calling myself fat, and someone would be like, "You're not fat. Like, you're beautiful." Wait, what? I know I'm beautiful. Duh. But I'm still fat. And that's okay. You can be fat and beautiful. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. I can tell you that. But it's this journey like you really have to go on being a confident person. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It's something that you have to put work into, and you have to really dig deep, because a lot of the stuff that you're feeling and that you're going through, it stems from your freaking childhood. I mean, I know that because I know it stems from mine. And I also know that because all the women I talked to this week, it stemmed from their childhood. One thing that they were told when they were younger, one thing they were told when they were younger, they had held on to for so many years, right? That's crazy. That's so crazy. And that happened to me. One thing I was told when I was like 11, 12, 13, something like that, I still remember to this exact day. I still remember those words, and I still remember exactly how it made me feel. Disgust. Disgust with my body, disgust with who I was. I wanted to quit eating. I wanted to starve myself, and I did for a period of time. And that's what started the way I viewed myself. I was just this young girl, right? Like coming into my own body, coming into my own skin, and I was made to feel this certain way. And that's what has happened to so many women, right? So it's hard, but you have to dig deep, and you have to reveal that, and you have to go through the work to heal that part. So that way you can become this self-loving, beautiful, well, you're already beautiful, but self-loving, person. And that's how you get your confidence. You heal and you move on, right? But it's easier said than done. And that's where I come into play. That's what I have taken on as this role. And that's what I've started to do through my coaching. And I have never been so excited that women are signing up for my 6-week confidence self-love coaching, and they're going through that journey. They're helping themselves, and they're trusting me to take them through it. And it's been such a beautiful thing, right? I've never been so excited for this. And shameless plug, I should have said. But it's something that I knew I've always wanted to do, but I never knew how. And then I figured out how, and then I did it. And that's what I'm doing now. And it's amazing. It's so beautiful. This whole entire week, like I said, I've been doing sessions over Zoom, and I've just been asking people like the hard questions, like, why do you not love yourself? What makes you you? What makes it hard to go through this struggle, right? And I've just been getting their input. And then afterwards, I gave them a 30-minute coaching session. And I've had so many girls this week, and so many just from the 30-minute coaching session, they put in the work, and they're already like, okay, I feel so much better. Right? And it's all about just validating like what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, right? And then how to fix that, right? I don't know. it's crazy the amount of growth that happens in 5-6 years. And I just really started to notice it as I looked back on my Facebook memories, and I'm just like, oof, cringeworthy content there, man. And I just felt like it was something I had to share with you guys, because if you knew me 5 years ago, you definitely don't know me now, unless you've stayed my friend. But I really just have, I hate the word blossomed, but I've grew into this fat, body positive, badass goddess that I am today, right? And if you're hearing this and you are fat, I want you to freaking own it, girlfriend, because it's okay. It's okay to be fat. There's nothing unhealthy about that, contrary to popular belief. You can't sit here and tell me that all health issues stem from being fat. Major eye roll. And newsflash, we all have fat. Anyways, it is always my mission to keep these short but super positive and super informational. And I hope you guys enjoy this so much. All right, I'm going to end this episode on that note. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are doing that. It is goddessontherise_. And you can find me on Facebook, Sarah Brooke Berg. And make sure you are following me over on the gram, because I've been doing these reels, which are kind of like mini TikToks. They've been so fun, but I give out tons of information on them. All right, so we are going to move right into our affirmations that we end our podcast with. All right, and so today's affirmations are all about body image. So let's get started. I am beautiful. I am worth more than my appearance. I am enough. I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. I am grateful for everything my body allows me to do. I will not listen to the negative voices in my head. I love the women staring back at me in the mirror. I will not compare myself to other women. I will treat my body with respect. My body is my home, and I will build it up, not tear it down. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Goddess on the Rise. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the upcoming episodes that I've got planned out for you, because let me tell you what, they are amazing. So make sure you share this with your friends. Let them hear all about this fat, positive babe who's just taken over the internet. All right, guys, love you so much, and I mean it. Bye.